Am I in an office? It's like office building ceiling? Yes, I cast from an office. I used to live with my parents, so I got this office space to cast from, which means that I'm able to obviously just kind of cast when I want and cast how I want without disrupting my parents. I just moved into my own apartment pretty recently, like a month or so ago. Waiting for internet to get installed there. It's going to happening in January. When I get the internet there, I should be able to cast from home. But I'm going to take a little while to set up the studio and make it look good and stuff like that. What's involved in a Christmas tree cosplay? I mean, I don't know how to answer this slowly without pretending you're an idiot. I will cosplay as a Christmas tree. Well, what more do you want me to say? I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. It's kind of in the title. It's kind of in the title. How you doing today, Slowly? You having a good day? Again, guys, if you're wondering about StarCraft action coming up this week, I'm live tomorrow if the 2018 has left the game Korea Group D. We also have some content coming up on... well, I'm casting on WardiTV Sunday and Monday evenings. Tuesday I'm going to be casting, and Tuesday and Wednesday I'm back with 2018 has left the game European groups as well. Will it be a lewd Christmas tree? Only if you want it to be. I mean, I don't know how I'm going to make a Christmas tree lewd, but I'm sure we could try. Ay. So I don't know why I'm trying to sell this to you guys. I think it's a terrible idea. Definitely not something I'm hyped about. Factory lifts up. Barracks is going to move to the side as well, and factory is going to drop down on that reactor. Starport coming up in the main base as we see the Reaper Grenade comes down, bops that Queen off to the side. And a couple more Hellions from souL just on the way out as well. This early game TvZ looking pretty regular. I would say souL's the favorite here, especially because PenguiN's trying to play on the European server from Korea. At least if he is still in Korea, which I'm pretty sure he is. I've not heard anything about him moving or anything, so yeah, pretty sure he's just playing from Korea on the EU. We'll have some pretty crazy lag, but these guys, when they play on EU a lot, they obviously it's still not going to be perfect, but they get used to it. They've definitely practiced on this lag quite a bit, so it definitely helps to kind of minimize the difference that it makes. But I mean, sometimes you're still only going to be able to do so much in that sort of situation, as we do see a medevac on the way out from souL. So souL choosing to get set up here at the moment with a couple more Hellions, a medevac, and a stim pack. Still getting all of this ready to go, so going to turn into quite an aggressive opening. It's kind of like it's kind of a weird 1-1-1 setup, isn't it? It's going to be like an armory with like Hellbats and kind of a weird kind of follow up with stim very fast. Interesting. BC Cutie and Risky are also in game right now, guys. So that's currently something that is also going on. We'll give you any updates that we have from that and so on and so forth when we have them. So just hoping to get some of them as soon as possible. In fact, I just say that I just look over to my screen. BC Cutie just took game number 1. I've got no idea what happened, actually. I wasn't watching that closely. It always happens when the games end fast. Reaper, Starport. Just looks like a Hellion Liberator attack with late cloak Banshees. Okay, so meanwhile, over in the game that we're actually meant to be watching, I miss, what, 11 drones going down? Great job, Wardy. 10 out of 10 observing! Sorry, guys. Bad time to go and look at the other screen. A few drones going down here then, so souL actually getting some good damage done, bring the workers down to pretty even amounts. A few Hellions also getting set to come in on the south side, as Hellions now morphed into Hellbats. So just going to have Hellbats in a couple of different directions, as we are going to be seeing the Queen chased away. One Queen goes down, and just going to be seeing the other few drones continue to be picked off. So a couple of drones taking some damage. Hellbats elsewhere also dealing some damage and coming through. The Banes are about to finish though, and well, a couple of them end up finishing there. As we'll see 2 Hellbats lifted and saved. Pretty much all you can get into a medevac. So honestly, the Hellbats didn't do that much. I feel like PenguiN didn't really lose too much to these or anything like that. As we do see the Fling is going to run forwards and get a bit of a surround. Hellbat is lifted up here. The Hellions surrounded though. Probably should have dropped the Hellbats back down, but I guess they were super low, but probably still could have saved those Hellions with the medevac healing as well. BC just barbecued all of Risky's drones with Hellions. Okay. Yeah, BCQ is obviously streaming as well, guys, while playing in the tournament, so do go check his stream out. As you have souL moving back out to the center of the map with a few of these Hellions, wolfing them up into Hellbats. A couple of extra factories dropping down here. Gathering all of this together, plus one vehicle plating on the way up on this armory at the moment. So again, that plating upgrade going is, again, Ling's chasing down a Hellion, but it's still just more and more Hellions and Hellbats. And I was about to say, with plating upgrade, we're very likely to see Cyclones here, and that Magfield Accelerator obviously confirms this. Hellbat, Cyclone, Banshee. It's actually a very powerful way to play. The plating upgrades affect both Banshee, Cyclones, and Hellbats. And the reason for no attack upgrades is it also means that the Cyclones are the real kind of damage dealers here, and they're doing their damage via the lock-on. So, in reality, it's actually not that important to have attack upgrades, because it doesn't affect the Cyclones' lock-on. Instead, it's much more important for the Hellbats and the Banshees and the Cyclones just to survive for longer. So it's actually a very interesting style, and we've seen this really rise into prominence with the new patch, and it's really becoming kind of the go-to for TvZ for a lot of players and how they play. A few creep tumors getting taken down there, as we will be seeing the Hyperflight Rotors upgrade coming in from souL. So he's getting that set up for himself at the moment, and well, meanwhile, just again, I mean, just more Banshee play basically. We haven't seen the Banshees really being harassing or anything just yet. He's just got a couple of them gathered up to the top side. He'll maybe look to utilize those shortly. As the lock-ons from these couple of Cyclones will start to press the Queen's back. Magfield Accelerator about to finish, which means he'll start doing a little bit more damage here. If these Cyclones locks onto that creep tumor, maybe a little bit unnecessary. 5 more Swarm Hosts on the way up at the moment from PenguiN. So he has been heading in towards the kind of the infestation pit for a little while here. Now setting up for the Swarm Hosts. We'll see how that turns out. souL coming all the way down to the bottom left-hand side, going to start pushing in, and well, this hatchery already taking some damage. Targets the Overseer, which means the Banshees could come in while cloaked, and obviously deal some damage as well. It's going to be a pretty important thing that happens throughout the entirety of these engagements. The Overseer is being targeted and focused by the Cyclones, and that is why, because it allows the Banshees to come in while still being cloaked up and able to get a lot done, as we see. Well, at the moment, just Hellions kind of splitting away to kind of tank Baneling shots. A couple of Zerglings over here do pick off a Cyclone. souL's still trading pretty well as the Banshee show up in the main base. He actually loses a Banshee but kills a Spore Crawler. And he will just move into this mineral line, and well, he's got some real potential to get some damage, but I mean, I guess he's taking a little while, but he'll get there in the end. He's keeping his opponent busy on the bottom side as well. Continuing to just fight here. The Locust coming into play there for a moment as well, helping to push this back. These two Banshees are up to 9 kills between them. Not a crazy number. And souL still just throwing out more and more. How is Hyperflight Rotors taking so long? I feel like, I guess it's a 2-minute upgrade, but kind of felt like it started an eternity ago, and yet it's still not completed. Roaches continue to push those Cyclones back along this bottom side of the map. As we have the Engineering Bay dropping down in the main base. So souL getting set up for that Engineering Bay. You're going to be seeing a couple of starports also coming down now as the Banshees work their way through this hatchery on the third base. So getting the hatchery picked away, another Banshee shows up, and we'll continue to just work their way through this. So Hatch is taking quite a lot of damage. And it will go down. So hatchery falls. And here we go with Cyclones and Hellions moving into the middle. A couple of troop tumors will start going down here. Overseer is going to be locked onto. It gets picked off almost instantly. Roaches, though, managing to grab a couple of those Cyclones right away. And the Cyclones then run up towards these Queens and maybe miss a chance for a lock on a little bit sooner there. Again, I mean, souL's staying around 20 supply down from PenguiN, which I think is about fine. These Locusts just expired, flying into basically nowhere. These Roaches are really trying to dive by and mostly going to pull units out of position and anything else. Both those Roaches do drop down. Now we see some Hydras on the way up from PenguiN as well. Also going to be seeing Hellions and Cyclones still moving around in the middle. Banshees set up as well, and again, this composition, it's high damage output. Let's see what happens here as we see a Queen just going to get caught ahead of the rest of the army. These Banshees have to be careful because, well, there's Overseers here, and now he loses one, very nearly two. Actually lost the high energy Banshees, so the other Banshees don't even have cloaks. Even targeting down the Overseers no longer really has an effect on this. Cyclones and Hellbats pushing forwards. Still picking up a lot of creep spreaders. We're going to be seeing the lock on. Getting rid of a whole bunch more units. The Hellbats here, well, here come the Locusts, I guess, and that's pretty much always a let's get out of here moment. Hellbats do have Blue Flame, so they trade pretty well against Locusts, but it's just not worthwhile. This is a composition from souL that is very hit and run anyways, so when the Locusts are out, you may as well just run. I feel like we've just constantly been watching this Terran army rather than looking anywhere else, but I guess the Terran army has been so active. souL getting a fusion core here, intrigued to see what his late game addition is. Sometimes the players like to transfer into battle cruisers from this, and there are the battle cruisers starting up. The reason for the battle cruisers is that you have armor upgrades, so they're already very hard to kill. And because you're keeping your opponent so busy with this style of Hellbat and Cyclone kind of running in, dealing some damage, backing away, and all of this, is, you know, it's very difficult for PenguiN just to take a straight up fight. So it keeps PenguiN very busy, and it buys souL a lot of time to actually get battle cruisers out on the map. Now you do see some Locusts coming in over here on this bottom side of Orbital, and they are going to be causing a little bit of destruction. In fact, breaking down the wall off. souL will come in, clean it up. At the same time, a single Banshee still on the top side is picking its way through this hatchery as well. So trying to work his way through that as the Banshee gets taken down there. Nice pick off. There's 3 more battle cruisers coming up. Hive about to complete over in the main base. And there's +3 plating about to come through, +2 ship weapons as well. Cyclones and Hellions still just moving across toward the left-hand side. Hanging around in the center. Hellions up the top as well. More battle cruisers on the way out. Swarmhost gonna get these Locusts up. A single SCV puts the Locusts into landing mode, so actually they're not going anywhere. At this point, I don't think souL is too interested in actually continuing to really pressure too much or to slow the Zerg down. I mean, he still wants to buy a bit of time here and there, but I think the most important thing is that, I mean, you know, exactly what he's doing, I suppose, building up that battlecruiser count. That's going to be very difficult for the Zerg player to deal with in the near future. So, building up those battlecruisers, they're starting to join the army. I've seen these a lot more often nowadays, and it's a lot of fun. I'm a big fan, I'm not going to lie. It's been awesome to see these last every so often, although this is a planetary fortress going down. Here we go, BCs will just Yamato the front line. And now they're going to move on overhead with +3 plating. They have so much armor. 6 armor on these guys. As the Hydras go down and immediately seeing the battle cruisers, PenguiN is like, oh, well then. Let's drop down the Spire, because with the Spire dropping down here, he's going to be able to get Corruptors up. And that's something that can actually fight against these BCs. They're a little bit better because they're armored themselves. But just in general, being able to actually deal a bit more damage is huge also. Oh, the battle cruisers teleport on top of the Swarm hosts. A couple of them have Yamato available too, so that's actually quite nice. The Swarm hosts, well, that's the last big wave of Locusts we're going to be seeing unless they actually get replaced. The Locusts, once again, only really breaking down the wall off and not much more. Isn't it crazy, man? You make battle cruisers be able to move while firing, and suddenly they're actually a playstyle. Like, we've seen them being used in so many different ways as well. Like, you know, UFM likes to open battle cruiser. People like to play Hellbat, Cyclone, Banshee into battle cruiser. It's crazy. Alright, well, Cyclones continue to lock on. The BCs continue to run away. Swarm host going to pop up some Locusts into the sky. And again, the BCs are a little bit cornered here. Tactical jumps on cooldown for a while. And it looks as though they're going to decide just to turn around and fight here in the end. One of them goes down. They keep on just fighting these Hydras, though. There isn't that many Hydras left, so another will fall. But he cleans up every single Hydralisk. And souL is really starting to make some pretty good progress through this. As we're going to be seeing moving forwards. That bottom side base maybe in a little bit of trouble. Hellions and Cyclones from souL coming through the top. And a couple of Hydras being picked away at over here. 3, 4 Hydras going down. Roach is taking some damage as well. BC will teleport away. As you see the other Cyclones locking on to the hatchery. And just continue to fight their way through this. So Hatch will get taken down. And those units just going to be backing away once again. Here come the rest of the Cyclones gathering up together. Again, Hellions and Cyclones backing through from souL. Currently just pushing forwards. A couple of creep tumors getting picked off. Quite a lot of potential for kills here, really. Yamato Cannon comes down, blows up a small crawler just like that. I love this. This is just so much damage being done. Obviously, you've got to deal with this Zerg army across the map, but I mean, a good amount of Hellions should deal with most of this because it is mostly just Hydras. Hydras are very vulnerable, and it looks like those BCs just teleported back home or somewhere. There they are, they just teleported right on top of this base to come in and help defend. Cyclones lock on, so a few of these Hydras don't even get out of here alive. And again, it's just going to get worse and worse, it feels like, for PenguiN. He used to have such a large bank, and now that's been expended. And yet, the army of souL just gets better and better and better with more battle cruisers being brought into play. souL is just absolutely killing it at the moment. Planning force on the top side being repaired, as it will try, and I think it actually has the repair now to hold on as a few of these roaches actually do start to drop. PCs and Cyclones still also across the map though. Those roaches will end up just going down. Planetary Force is really just chunking away at them. And then again, initially it looked a little bit dangerous, but as those SCVs got to work repairing, it was truly no issue at all. The roaches come backing away through the top. The Viper is on the way up here from PenguiN. You can see the battle cruisers coming forward. Cyclone's starting to lock onto a few of the roaches. And again, continue to pull back right now as the Hellions going to keep on pressing forwards. Tactical jumps back, keeping those battle cruisers alive. It's just so many utilities on these battle cruisers, isn't there? It's crazy how much they can survive at points. The immortal cannons coming down on master blow of Queens, Hydras, and all the rest of it. Spores are barely doing anything, and PenguiN has no choice other than to type out GG. You know, add 2 more factories, they go on Tech Labs, and you get Magfield Xaria. Well, obviously, I guess you open Hellbat Cyclone. Hellbat Banshee, sorry. You open Hellion Banshee, and then from there you add 2 more factories, you go into Tech Labs, you get Magfield Accelerated, you get +1 vehicle plating on the armory, and you just start playing Hellbats and Cyclones and Banshees, and you just get very aggressive with them. You target onto Overseers to remove detection for the Banshees to fight unhindered, and you never take a straight up fight, you just lock on and start backing away instantly. That's the entire point, to lock on and just start instantly backing away. Like, you never want to actually trade for long. That's why souL never took a straight up fight. He was always backing away, firing away. You know what I mean? Like, he was always just running away because it made the most effect. You know, it was really about efficiency and being efficient enough to keep PenguiN busy enough so that when he had battle cruisers, you know, he had time to go into battle cruisers. Bottom right hand side, PenguiN. Top left hand side, souL. As it is a pool first from PenguiN here in game number 2. Not going to take any risks being a game down, it seems. So, just going to make sure nothing comes of that there. As we get this setup and rolling. You're Terra noob, so you only saw the end. Thanks for the explanation. Don't worry about it, dude. We actually had another game earlier today that was like this in the 2018 has left the game group. I think it was a Terran play. It was Bunny maybe doing it against Ragnarok. Yeah, in fact it was. Bunny did it against Ragnarok. So if you're looking for another game of it, Bunny did it against Ragnarok. You filmed it a bunch, for example, against Raynor in the Home Story Cup recently as well. So if you're looking for more games of it, they are definitely out there. Hopefully there's a couple for you to go on and find them if you want to. If you do enjoy this stream, by the way, and you're ever looking for VODs, we are back on track with the YouTube channel. That is youtube.com/WardiTV. And we upload 2 to 3 times a day on the channel. Just VODs from our best tournaments and the best matches. It's worth checking out. If you, I mean, obviously I'm a little bit biased, but I think it's worth checking out. We have some cool games on there, and again, 2 to 3 uploads a day means you can always jump on and usually find something. Unless you watch all of our streams live, then it's not really worthwhile. Drop us a subscription, trying to grow the YouTube channel a little bit. Would be great if you guys can help out. These 6 lings across the map, as we do see the SCV is going to have to be pulled against this. Actually saves that first SCV impressively enough. Reaper shows up, grenade, to try and slow the lings down. The CC will start building again and get a little bit more health on it. Man, this was a real dive to try and make this happen. These other SCVs can get up to the high ground now. Those lings have been dealt with. Wow, very narrowly there by PenguiN getting that cancel, but souL responds very well. Yes, a lot of SCVs off the line, which probably means that overall the 6 lings were still worthwhile. But man, if he'd killed that, gotten the counts, that would have been insane. If souL plays the same style, I hope PenguiN goes for the Infester. Yeah, I mean, I just wonder how many infestors you need to make it work, and how hard it is to control that and to get them to fight at the right time. You know, to pop up fungal and then be far enough away so that they don't get locked onto. Otherwise, it becomes very expensive anyways. It would be interesting, and I wonder if that is something we start seeing as a introduced sort of way to deal with that. So a lot of Zergs are struggling with that style at the moment, trying to figure out just what to do against it. How best to play. Armory on the way up in the back of the main base, as we do see the Soulflore just sat south of the natural here at the moment as well. Let coming up on the main as we see Hellion and the Reaper, and 2 more Hellions now coming across to play a join up and to see what they can do. Grenade goes down. Hellions, decent little bit of damage to begin with. Not bad at all. There's the Roach Roaring and the Lair coming up as well from PenguiN. The Evo Chamber also coming down. Just a medevac from souL. So looking to kind of morph these Hellbats in and get aggressive in a couple of different places. He's bringing these Marines across. The second medevac is interesting then. It's really going to turn into something a little bit funky. I guess just drop the extra Hellions into the main and go from there. Already, PenguiN is going to lose an Overlord. We do have the Hellbat starting to move forwards. We'll lose the medevac, but obviously kind of felt it was worthwhile for the pressure he's able to apply. He gets right on top of a lot of these queens, by the way. Roaches have only just started to build, so he's got a long time until the Roaches actually come out, which means that PenguiN has a huge amount of time where he has to deal with these units, and that's just going to be so many drone kills that souL is just going to win this game.